So Manchester City is a goal machine. We all know Manchester City is a goal machine. Last season they hit 131 GNA, but previous seasons to that, a few previous seasons to that, they hit 150 average GNA. Now, what I've done today is I've calculated or estimated or guesstimated what I think this following season will hold as far as the players, what they'll score, what they'll assist. Now, please, allow for a few goals either way, a few assists either way, depending on tactical changes and if we get like a defensive right back instead of having Nunes there and Nunes play a majority of games. So let me show you what I've done. The players in red, I think will be sold. The players in yellow, I think will be loaned. And I've put a calculation at the end for the average without those players if they do get sold or loaned. So Ederson last season, he had 4 assists. I'm going to go with 3 GNA this season. I don't think Ederson will be sold or will go. I think, if anything, Ortega has hinted at the fact that he will go instead of Ederson. Bettinelli, 0. Ruben Diaz, 0. And that's not just because I think Ruben Diaz may be dropped, possibly will be dropped. That's just because I think there's going to be that many creative players that he won't need to, go for that assist or go for that goal. Maybe corners, but yeah, John Stones, I think he will be sold, but if he's not, he does like a goal, he does like an assist. I've gone for 2 with John Stones. Nathan Ake, same reasons as Ruben Diaz. Vitsa Heiss, same reasons as Ruben Diaz. Vardiol, obviously last season I think he had like 7 or 8 GNA, but this season he's not on the wing. He's not on the wing. He won't be running down the wing. So, if anything, from corners, he's probably our strongest defender from corners in terms of goals, assists. Manuel Kanji, same reasons as Ruben Diaz and all the others I said above. Rico Lewis, apparently in Pep's plans, so I've put him down for 3. I don't think he'll be a major part of next team season, but I think he'll be there. Squad rotation. I think 3 is fair for Rico Lewis. Mateo Kovacic, he does like a driving goal. He does like to drive through midfield and score a banger. I think 6 is very, very fair for Kovacic, and that's based on if he plays every other, which I don't think he will anyway, but that's why I've done the calculation without these said players' contributions. Jeremy Doku, I think 10 is very fair for Jeremy Doku. In pre-season, or, Club World Cup pre-season, I think he showed what he could do. I think he showed what he could do. I think 10 is very fair for Jeremy Doku. Echeverri, I think he's a very, very good player. But for Echeverri to get into the team, someone has to drop out, like your Reinders or your Cherkis or your Foden. So, yeah, I think he'll be loaned anyway. But hopefully he stays and he can be squad rotation. I think he will get 10 goals or assists. Nico Gonzalez, out of favour. This is where my estimation comes from, a 2, based on the fact that he is out of favour with Pep. And I think if he got on the pitch more, then he would contribute more. But as far as, what I can estimate based on what I think he'll play, I think a 2. That's goals and assists. A bit of a shame, but it is what it is, and Pep doesn't seem to like playing him. Rodri, 8. That's based off of Rodri being fit. Obviously, we know that Rodri is having fitness problems at the minute. But, yeah, I put him down for an 8. That's goals and assists. I think that's very, very fair. Bernardo Silva, the main captain. I assume he will play majority of games next season. I think a 4 is very, very fair. Don't forget, these are goals and assists. So the total will be halved as far as goals are concerned. Savio, 8. Now, I'm not really sure if Savio is in Pep's plans for next season. I think, if anything, I think Doku would play above Savio. I think Savio played 30 minutes too much the other day, and I think he should have come off for Cherky at that point. But he was kept on for 120, and he just couldn't seem to create. Mateus Nunes, 6. I think this is very fair as well, and that's basically assuming that he plays majority of games. Now, last season, he was very pivotal, but in a way that the wingers weren't doing their jobs. I think he had 14 G&A, which is very, very good. But obviously he won't get the chances. The same reasons I've said for Ruben Diaz. There's so many creative players now that a Mateus Nunes will go under the cosh a little bit. He won't be noticed as much, and they won't try and force that as much as last season. So I think 6 is very fair for Mateus Nunes. Phil Foden, he looked good in Club World Cup. I think 20. I think, well, what it's more a case of is he should be bagging 20 GNA. I think it's more a case of that than anything. So he should be getting 20 GNA. Oscar Bob, nearly put him in yellow, but I'm fairly sure that we'll keep Oscar Bob. I think the only way that we'll lose Oscar Bob is to Newcastle, and that is if Newcastle basically will not let Livramento go unless Bob is included in that deal. But hopefully we get a buyback clause in there or something similar, because Oscar Bob is a very, very good player and he's a very creative player. You know, we could do without losing him, but if it means getting that sturdy right back, maybe we do, you know, make that trade. Like we've got plenty of attacking creative players. Maybe we could afford to lose Bob, but at that point I would like to keep Echeverri in the team. But let's not forget Oscar Bob, homegrown player. We don't really want to be getting rid of a homegrown player for another homegrown player. What we want is to get rid of a non-homegrown player for a homegrown player. Omar Marmoush, 25 GNA across the whole season. I think that is very, very fair. I think the same as Foden when I said he should be getting 20. Omar Marmoush should be getting 25. Erling Haaland, I've gone fairly low with 35. That's accounting for a few injuries that Erling Haaland might pick up because he is very injury prone. Maybe that counters into the Omar Marmoush 25 as well. So I'd be happy with Omar Marmoush and Erling Haaland getting 60 GNA between them, which is what they should be doing anyway. You know, guys on big money, we need big performances. Omar Marmoush and Haaland should be getting 60 GNA between them. Don't forget that's halved for the goals. So they should be contributing towards 30 goals between them. Ryan Aït-Nouri, 10. Now, I think Ryan Aït-Nouri will be a mainstay in this team. I think it's not so much of a defensive problem. It's more of a tactical change that Pep will need to make to get the best out of Ryan Aït-Nouri. He's already been told that he can play with freedom, which means, you know, defending isn't your strong point. I know defending isn't your strong point, so don't feel like you need to be, you know, you don't want to lose any attacking nature from Ryan Aït-Nouri in place of defensive nature, because Ryan Aït-Nouri is not that player anyway. Ryan Cherky, we've seen plenty of Ryan Cherky already. Well, I'd say plenty, but I'd like to have seen a bit more of him because he comes on for 7 minutes and he gets an assist. But I think 20 GNA from Ryan Cherky this next season is very, very doable for a player of his stature, of his skill. 20 is more than adequate. And I think we're not being cheeky asking for 20 from Mr. Cherky, are we? Tierney Reinders, 10. I've gone a bit low on this one as well. But like I said, that's what I expect of him. I expect 10 from Tierney Reinders. So without the exits, that gives us a total of 191. And with the exits, that gives us a total of 171. Now, like I said, last season was 131. A few previous seasons, so that was 150 odd. I think 171 is doable with this team. Like I said, please just allow the 20. Allow the 20 so it was like previous seasons to the last one. And you're getting back to that 150, 151 mark. So basically what I'm saying is if these players pull their socks up, then we can be back to that fighting City team. Now, next season, if Pep doesn't want to change, if he's too stubborn, then, you know, maybe that's the point where we go all out attack and we just try and outscore the other team. We've done it before. I'm sure we could do it again. We probably tried to do that against Al Hilal. Maybe it's all out season and we just try and outscore the other team. Obviously, that's the main aim. That's the main aim of football, anyway. Don't think I'm stupid by saying that, but what I mean is relying less on the defensive prowess of someone like a Ruben Diaz or Mateus Nunes and just going all out attack and absolutely obliterating teams. Exciting football, but tense football. If you're watching in the 89th minute and it's still 0-0, and well, that means that the creative players haven't done their job, and Haaland hasn't done his job, and Mamouche hasn't done his job. But if it's 0-0 in the 89th minute, and we're relying on our attack rather than our defence, and the other team basically save legs for the end, and they bomb up the wing, and they whip one in, and it's 1-0 to the opposing team, we've lost a game because of Pep's ideology again. So that's my video on estimated, guesstimated, predicted goals and assists. Please let me know what you think in the comments. Like the video, subscribe, hit that bell, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.